Hello, my friends, and happy Thursday evening. And welcome to my new studio. Again, this is only my second video from this studio. It will all change, and of course, as we make this our new home, you will probably see more things in the backdrop. In the meantime, I am just so happy to be here back with you guys. We took a nice long break while we were moving, and now we're all moved in, and it's just so nice to be here again. So today we are going to talk about, and I should probably introduce myself. I'm Irina Miech at Eclectica in Brookfield, Wisconsin.
New Berlin now.
I'm sorry, yes, New Berlin now, that's right. And those who are not in Wisconsin, I will tell you, we're actually, or those who are in Wisconsin, everyone who is watching, we're really only 2 miles away, 2 miles away as the crow flies from our old location. So actually, we are in this little tiny enclave of New Berlin, and yes, in Wisconsin we say New Berlin. The rest of the country, it's New Berlin, and in the world. And so now we are in Wisconsin, New Berlin, 2 miles away from the old location, and our retail store is open, as is our Etsy shop. So everything that I will show you today is available through either the retail store as well as the Etsy shop. And I know there was a question from somebody who is new to our community, and if you are new, welcome. So there was a question about ordering. Do you pre-order before the video so that we could all do it together? Actually, I'm so sorry, I'm not that organized. We usually get everything done the day of the video, and that is when our kids are available. And if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. In the meantime, what we're going to work on is something really super fun, and that is holiday ornaments. And you may have seen my icicles because we listed the event as icicle ornaments. But last minute, I thought, why not add a snowman or maybe a snow woman? And not only do we have the icicles, but we also have this snow woman. And of course the construction is very similar, but I will point out some of the differences as we get started with the demo. So this right here, what I have in my hand, is the preview of what we are about to do. And because this little icicle with the big disco ball, or actually we call it the Times Square ball, hence the Times Square icicle, because you know how they drop that beautiful crystal ball at New Year's. The name of this project is Times Square Icicle. And that's because this was probably the most popular, at least here in the store, it was the most popular of the three. Everybody just kind of went crazy over this one. So this is what I'm going to be demoing first.
Betty says hello, you guys.
Hello, Betty, and thanks for joining us.
And Fonda, I think Fonda lives right down the street, says good evening, everyone. Happy Friday Eve.
Hello, Fonda, and happy Friday Eve to you.
Trudy says hello, everyone.
Hello, Trudy, and thanks for joining us. All right, guys, so here is our plan. We are going to demo an icicle. We're going to talk about the snowman construction, and then I'm also going to do a little segment on hooks. And yes, we did make some hooks last week. And last week we started with our ornament extravaganza, right? But today I'm going to kind of build onto that. So it's not going to be the same. Remember when we made our snowflakes, I demoed the snowflakes, and then we also did a little demo on the ornament hooks. So today I'm going to give you some new ideas on the ornament hooks. So why don't we get started? And I think the first thing that I'm going to demo is the icicle. All right, so this is what we'll do. I have a little tray here with everything I'm going to need. And clearly this is very simple, especially compared to some of our other projects. This is very, very simple construction. It's just so very easy to make an ornament like this. You know, it's not like one of those very time-consuming ornaments that people stitch, which of course are absolutely beautiful, but I'm an instant results sort of girl. So I love these quick little projects, and this is, you know, this is such a classic project. I feel like this can be kind of an heirloom sort of piece, you know, because it's sort of, on one hand, it looks very modern, very contemporary. I could definitely see it on a very modern tree. But at the same time, it has this echo of vintage. So it really could fit so many different styles, and it makes a great gift. And I know that a lot of people have the tradition of exchanging ornaments at Christmas time. So I can really see giving somebody an ornament like this. And I mean, like, who wouldn't like to get that as a little gift? Or maybe a little stocking stuffer. All right, so I have all my little ingredients right here, right in front of me. And when you take out all of the components, you will see that the wire probably has a slight curve to it. So first thing we're going to do is just use our flat nose pliers to straighten it as much as we can.
Kathy D says, hello, Irina and Tony. Welcome to your new building.
Hello, Kathy. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. I can't tell you how much I love being in this building, and everybody who works here is just so happy. We just talked about it this morning. It's just, you know, we have so much natural light, and we have this cute little kitchen in the back, and it's just a really good fit for us. We love it. So I think this is fairly straight. I don't know, you tell me. I think it's straight enough. Okay, so once we have straightened our wire, now if we really wanted to, we could hammer it gently. We'll do a little more hammering later, but you know, why would we hammer the wire? Well, you know, hammering, of course, will harden the wire. So if we wanted to harden the wire, we could. And in which case, if you're going to, please do not hammer the very end of the wire, okay? So please leave that unhammered, because that's going to become a loop. So if we do hammer it, as I will right now, you can see that I'm turning it so that I can hammer it on a couple of sides. So one thing that you're going to notice if you hammer your wire is not only will it have a slightly, well, hammered look, but also it will curve, because as we hammer metal, it will harden, and it will also curve. So you will find that you have to straighten the wire yet again. Okay, so you can hammer it or not hammer it. I mean, clearly, if you do hammer it, it will be a little harder, but it's not a must. If you choose to skip this step, it will still work just fine. So now, I'm going to make a very small loop at the end of my wire, which is why I didn't want to hammer the very end of the wire. So I would say I left, maybe 8 millimeters of wire unhammered. Even if it's just 6, that's okay too, because I'm actually going to end up cutting off most of this unhammered wire because I want my loop to actually be very, very small.
Lorraine says, hi, Irina and Tony.
Hi, Lorraine. Thank you so much for joining us this beautiful evening. And it is kind of a beautiful evening, even though I'm not a big fan of winter. But, you know, it's kind of our first snow. Well, I mean, we've had a few snowflakes fly already, but I guess it's one of the first snowy days. And, well, how appropriate. We are making a snowman in a little bit. So I have a little teeny loop, as you can see. And now I'm just going to string all of my beads. So there's really not a whole lot to this project. So I have a teardrop, and then I have a little spacer. I love these little, here I'll show it to you. So this is a little snowflake spacer. You can see how it's not your traditional daisy spacer. It has like these little teeny spokes and a little ball at the end of each spoke. And this should be a really quick and festive project. So this, of course, is a beautiful Swarovski Marguerite. And I feel like it adds so much to this project. This is where it is on my finished piece, so you can see. It just adds that kind of beautiful, very elegant, we can think of it as a vintage look or just a very elegant look. It depends on your personal style.
Shelley says, hi, Irina. Those are beautiful crystals.
Hi, Shelley. Thank you so much.
Fonda says, I'm not a fan of winter either, which is funny since my birthday is the first day of winter.
Oh, okay. So you have a December birthday as well. We are sisters in having a December birthday. So yeah, I know. I don't think it has anything to do with what seasons we're fond of versus, you know, when we were born, right? Yeah, my birthday is in the winter, and I really prefer summer and spring, well, and fall as well. And so here's our last bead.
Lorraine says that is a beautiful ornament.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. So now we're just going to make a loop. And that's really all there is to this project. And hopefully I didn't hammer too much on this side where I'm going to make my loop. So it sort of behooves us to leave the wire unhammered wherever it is that we are planning to make the loops. So whereas I made a very tiny loop at the bottom, because the loop at the bottom is only kind of a head pin. So literally we just made a little head that holds the beads, whereas the loop at the top is going to be functional. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit more wire.
Lorraine is wondering if it's a kit.
Yes, thank you so much for asking, Lorraine. It is indeed a kit, and as a matter of fact, it is already available right now through our Etsy shop. And as of tomorrow, it will be available in our brick and mortar store. Okay, maybe, you know what, maybe this is just a little bit too much wire. No worries, I'm going to cut off a little bit more, and then we're going to complete the loop.
Fonda says fast, simple, and gorgeous. I love it.
Yay, thank you so much, Fonda.
And Jane says it's beautiful.
Thank you so much, Jane. So, oh, and Jane, this is the Jane, right? The local Jane. So, okay, so this is for Jane and everyone who is interested in classes. I am putting the birdhouse on the next class schedule. So yes, we will be making a dainty little birdhouse in December. I don't remember what date it is. I think it may be the 4th. I think it might be that first Saturday in December.
What is the birdhouse made out of?
The birdhouse, of course, is made out of metal clay.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So if you love metals, if you want to work with metal clay, come on down. Well, actually, first, wait for the class schedule to come out.
Jane says, yay, been watching for it.
Oh, yay. And I have to apologize. So again, this is for everyone who's looking forward to the December classes. Yes, we are very, very late coming out with the December schedule because we have had so much on our plate. And we are aware that you guys are waiting for it. So the schedule is coming out sometime next week. So we should have the class schedule by the end of next week, I will say.
Who would have thought that moving would take so much time?
Oh my gosh, when you stay in the same place for 24 years or 25 years, I don't know, whatever it is, go figure, you amass so much stuff. Oh my gosh. So yes, we're still moving. We're moved, but we still have a lot of things that need to get moved out of the old store. So just bear with us, and we will have that schedule done next week. All right, ladies, ta-da! So we just finished an ornament.
Trudy says, love it.
Thank you so much, Trudy. So before I move on to the next ornament, I do want to say that the main difference between this ornament and the next one, which is going to be the snowman, as of course, we have different beads and the order of beads, but the main difference is the gauge of wire. So I do want to explain that part a little bit. So for this ornament, which is the icicle, I used 18 gauge wire. And for this type of a project, you always want to start out with a half hard wire, which is going to be beadsmith wire. And that too is available through the Etsy shop. So this is 18 gauge beadsmith wire. And that is really my preference for this type of a project. However, what happens with this type of a project is you can only go with the wire that will actually fit through your beads, because if it doesn't fit through your beads, then it is not a match. Well, I guess it's not just this kind of a project, it's any kind of a project. So in the meantime, I just straightened my wire, and I think I'm just going to pre-hammer it just a little tiny bit. Because again, with a thinner gauge, I think it's better to harden it rather than not harden it. So let's hammer a little bit. Okay, so I am not hammering the wire to flatten it. I am just hammering it to slightly work harden it. So we are going to make a loop, and in the meantime, so why the choice of the thinner wire? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. It is this large pearl, which is absolutely beautiful for the top bead, or for the head bead, I should say. So I love using this bead, but it does not have a very large hole. So before you commit, like let's say you're making this type of a project on your own and it's not made out of a kit. So make sure that whatever your plan is, it actually includes testing your wire on the beads that you have and making sure that all of your beads will actually fit on the wire.
Cheryl says, gorgeous. I pulled the icicles and snowflakes that I made from your kits last year and couldn't wait to add these new designs to our tree.
Oh, thank you so much. That's wonderful. I love that I am a part of your holidays, or at least my designs are a part of your holidays. I love it. So thank you so much for that. And yes, so every year I do something that's slightly different. It may be maybe kind of a take on something that happened before, but it's always a little bit different. Speaking of that, I look forward to next week. So this is a teeny little preview for next week. You remember our Christmas spiders. And I know not everybody's into spiders, but this is not a real spider. Look, this is not a creepy spider. This is like a very friendly, sweet spider. He's waving at you. He's like, hello, I want to be your friend. Okay, so, and of course, when we make the little Christmas spiders, we will absolutely tell the story of the Christmas spider. It's a lovely little story, and of course, it's tradition. We have to tell it every year.
Kathy D says, I do.
Oh, yay, that's wonderful. Thank you. All right, guys, so we're going to start stringing. And I have these beautiful big bead caps that happen to fit so nicely on our Times Square bead. And so look how beautifully that frames it. And it makes it a little, again, a little Victorian, which I feel like the holidays, there's always a little nostalgia around the holidays. Okay, I almost skipped something. So I'm showing you the order of the beads. So we have our big bead that is framed by the bead caps. And right after that, I have, again, the snowflake spacer. So this snowflake spacer is really so nice for this because it is kind of like, it cushions the round beads against each other, right? Because those little dots are just a little bit larger. So it's just a perfect spacer between these two shapes. So that works so nicely because it makes the entire structure just a little bit more sturdy.
Karen says, I've been watching. She finished cleaning up after dinner and she says, now I can interact. Hello all.
Oh, hello. Hi, Karen. It's so nice to hear from you. And so moving right along, of course, a snowman has to have a little scarf. And again, this is also strategic in the construction because that's going to be a little bit of a cushion between the body and the head, which of course is the pearl. And the pearl, remember, the pearl is the reason why we went with the 20 gauge wire. Do you see how tight the fit is? And yes, this is a Swarovski pearl. This is the last of my Swarovski pearls. So when we run out, we'll probably have to use a different kind of pearl, but for now, it's still Swarovski. And then we have a sparkly little hat for this snowman. It's a two-part hat. Again, snowman or snow woman, you tell me. I think it's a snow woman because her hat is so blingy, as is her scarf. Of course, I don't know, you tell me, snowman or snow woman? Let's have a vote. And now I'm just going to make a loop at the top. So again, we're just going to bend the wire to a 90-degree angle and make a loop. And here we go. And just to be sure that it's closed nicely, we'll use our flat nose pliers and bring the two sides together really well. And there we go. We have our snow person.
Fonda says snow woman. She's very sparkly.
Thank you so much, Fonda. That is how I feel. Okay, guys, moving right along. So I promised to talk a little more about the hooks, because you know, when you give somebody one of these ornaments, and I know actually that a lot of people are making these as gifts. I think it's very, very fun to give somebody an ornament as a gift. So the only thing that's more fun is to give it on a handmade hook, so that they can just take the hook, the whole thing, and put it on their tree.
Kathy D says both.
All right, I like both. So, and if we wanted to, we could close the gap. So if we want to make this a permanent hook that we're committing to using just on that ornament, we can just close the hook. So really, when we make this big hook, it's like making a giant ear wire. It's actually very, very similar to making an ear wire. So just think of this as beautiful, sparkly jewelry for your tree. And the other thing about using these particular crystal beads, well, technically it's not crystal because it doesn't contain lead, but it is very sparkly glass. When the lights from the tree hit these beads, it's just so sparkly, and it just kind of sends rainbows everywhere. So I think it's really fun and festive. Okay, so we're going to move on to the hooks. So, because you're probably going to want to make multiple hooks, I'm going to show you how to do this a little bit assembly style. So you remember last week I had my thermos that I wrapped the wire around, and this week I have this little jar just to show you because you know, do you know how many?
Are you showing how easy it is? Is that why you have
showing
easy
you,
on
you
there?
see how I'm showing you how very, very easy this is going to be. If you're wondering why it says easy on my little jar, it's because, well, all those ladies or gentlemen who are watching me, you know, if you solder, you have easy, medium, and hard. So actually, it's a little jar with solder. But I also grabbed this one to tell you that this is so, so easy. Anyway, so you grab whatever it is that's going to make it easy to wrap your wire around. So I'm just wrapping my wire around my little jar. And it can be anything. Like I was saying, it could be a jar of jam. It could be, I don't know, whatever, a container from Bubble Bath. So as long as it is the correct diameter. So this is about the same diameter as my thermos last week. So I'm just doing this to show you don't need to have a thermos, because I talked to several people who said, oh, I just might have to go and look for a thermos like yours. Well, I don't want you to feel like you absolutely need to get a thermos like mine. You can use anything at all. So now this would have been a little bit easier if I had something that's just a little longer, you know, like a little bit of a dowel rod. But you can grab anything that is the correct diameter and just make yourself a little slinky like this. So once you have made your slinky, what we'll do is we will cut it into several coils. So I'm just going to cut it apart into something that looks like this. So maybe like a coil and a quarter, a coil and a third. So as you can see, I'm not being all that precise. And however we cut it, we will just make do with whatever size we have.
Janelle is wondering, can these kits be purchased at Eclectica?
Yes, Janelle, absolutely. Tomorrow they will be available at Eclectica, but let me give you a little hint. Don't show up first thing in the morning because what happens is everything is kind of pre-assembled into the kit, but then the final kit is assembled once the video airs. So the video needs to air in order for us to have a link to the video. And then we take that link to the video, we put it in the kit, and that is essentially your way to getting back to the video. We just make it super, super easy for you to find the video again. And just please know that there will be other icicles. I'm not actually going to demonstrate. Oh, where's my other icicle? Okay. So I'm not actually going to demonstrate these today because they're made exactly in the same way. And I love this one so much. This one is so elegant. But, so this is assembled in very much the same way. And you just look at the order of the beads. You will have a picture, a very detailed picture right in the kit. And once you have seen the assembly for one of them, you have seen them all, I feel.
Jeannie Ann says, yay, I'm here to see the class.
Oh, fantastic. Yay. I'm so glad you're joining us.
Lorraine says, cool.
Yay. Thank you so much. Yes, so if you come in sometime in the afternoon, we're open until 5 o'clock. So I would probably come in between 1 and 5. And yes, these kits will be available in the store. All right, ladies. So we just cut our wire apart. And this is, obviously, this is my way of making several. And if you're making a whole bunch, you can just take your wire and just wind it up. You know, you can use the entire length of the wire, which probably will, I don't know, give you maybe 30 icicles at the end. I mean, don't quote me on this one, but if you use the entire length, I have a feeling you make like a whole bunch, 30 or a schmillion. I mean, you know, at that quantity, it's about the same. Okay, so just to review a little bit what we did last week is this. We took our round nose pliers and we did something like this. We just made a zigzag, and we will do the same, but then we will also add a few things to this. So you can zigzag however many times you want. So I'm going to stop right here because this gives me a really good gap. And now, of course, we want to make a loop. And you decide whether you want it to be an open loop or a closed loop. You know what? I think I unbent it a little bit. No worries. I'm just going to bend it again. All right, so adding a few options to our ornament hook, we're going to hammer it. So this gives us even a more handmade look. So, you know, the whole point of creating these holders for ornaments is so that we can, whether we're making them for ourselves or as a gift, the whole point is that it's a handmade piece, you know, it has a certain look.
Kay says, I just made some icicles with crystal beads today. This is giving me ideas.
Oh, yay. Thank you so much, Kay.
Lynn is wondering, will the individual components be available for the icicles?
Absolutely, Lynn. They're available here at the store, and thank you so much for asking. As far as the Etsy shop, the wire is also available. so make sure it's 18 gauge wire that you use for these. And so now we're going to move right along to the next hook. So one hook that I kind of like is the corkscrew one. Isn't that kind of fun? So let's make one of these. So we are going to use our next coil, and this time I'm using, I don't know, do you like little side or big side? So this is the little side. Maybe we'll do one of each. How is that? Yeah, we'll do one of each. So
Glenda says, missed what brand wire you are using.
oh, thank you for asking, Glenda. Make sure you use beadsmith wire, because we have two brands of wire in the Etsy shop, and they're both excellent. But the artistic brand is really good for other things, so not this one. So the reason that we're going with beadsmith wire is that beadsmith wire is half hard versus the artistic, which is closer to dead soft. Okay, so I have this wonderful tool, and most of you already know what this is.
Jeannie Ann is wondering, what tool is that? I've never seen it before.
Oh, Jeannie Ann, it's like we had a little mind meld, right? So this is, okay, so this is the cousin of the round nose. So we have a round nose, which of course is round all the way around, and it's like a cone. So each side of it is a cone. And this is a bail making pliers, which is also round all the way around, but instead of each side being a cone, it is a cylinder. And it is, so each side is a different size cylinder. We have a little side and we have a big side. And the bail making pliers actually comes in several different sizes. So I know you want to know what size I'm using. This is the medium size. So if you buy the little size, the smallest one, that is super, super good for making earrings. So the smaller loops on earrings it's really great for it. But for this use, I really prefer the medium size of the bail making pliers. And so this is what we can do with the bail making pliers. Because each side is a cylinder, we can just start winding the wire onto our pliers. And we have this beautiful, what do you call it? It's not a spiral, it's more of it's like a coil, like a really open coil. And we can, you know what, maybe I can coil a little bit more because I have enough wire. So my goal is to leave a little bit of a gap between the two sides. Maybe I started a little bit too wide, but this is kind of fun. This is a fun open spiral, and we're just going to use our chain nose and bend it like this so that...
Kay says corkscrew.
Yes, a corkscrew. I could not think of the word corkscrew. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think this is good. And actually, I think I'm just going to cut off a little bit of the straight part of the wire.
Kay says the bail making pliers also come in square, triangle, and oval plier mandrels.
They do. Absolutely. They do come in all these different shapes. I usually find the round the most useful, so that's what I normally use. So there we go. There is our little corkscrew. And just for fun, let's put something on it, shall we? And also, because I have another coil, I'm just going to do the same thing again, but this time with the larger side of the bail making pliers, and we'll see which one we like best. So this is what it looks like. So I think it's just kind of fun and festive. So let's do it again. And we're going to again use the same size bail making pliers, but this time I'm going to be wrapping or coiling around the larger side. I'm also going to try to go a little bit, I'm placing the coils a little bit closer to one another so it's not quite as open because I have more wires, so we're just going to experiment a little bit and see which one we like best.
Kay says, I use the round bail making pliers the most as well.
Yeah, it is the most useful one, right? So there it is. There is our little coil. And we're going to use the flat nose pliers and just turn that bottom loop so that we can hang something on it. And let's find something to hang. How about...
And what size was the bail making pliers again?
So this is the medium bail making pliers. And you can see, let me just put something on it so we can model. And so when I look at this, I really don't feel that I would want this larger. How do you guys feel? So I think that a medium-sized pliers is really kind of perfect for this use. I think any larger and it'll be too large. So this is the smaller side of the bail making pliers, and this is the larger side of the bail making pliers. So tell me which one you like best. Do you like the small or the large? And would you go any larger? Actually, that's a good question. So would you go any larger or any smaller with this?
Kay says the larger would look odd.
Yeah, I think it would be maybe just a little bit too much attention to the hook rather than the ornament. Because, you know, obviously it's all about the ornament. That is our show, right?
Fonda says, I like the large. Glenda says, smaller.
Okay, yeah, so we all have our own preferences, which is good. Makes the world go around, right? Okay, guys, so I believe we have just finished making whatever we set out to make, but I would love to preview before we finish. So let's have a little preview. Yeah, this one, I love this little gold one. It's just so elegant. This is possibly my favorite one.
Glenda says, really like the first.
Oh, so the smaller one.
Kay says, I like them both. If I went larger, the crystals would have to be at least double the current size.
Yeah, and so this one, I don't know if you actually perceive just how big this crystal is. It's what, 28 millimeters?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 28
Or
millimeters.
27, one of the two.
Something like that. So it's well over an inch in diameter. And I mean, look at how it's like the thickness of two of my fingers. It's big. So I don't know that you would want to, even if we could get something that's bigger, I don't know that you would want to because it would be so heavy. And yes, so I would love to preview the bracelets. And this is what we are doing tomorrow. So this is our elegant boho bling bracelet. And this is the boho bling version that I did for the holidays, of course. Usually my bracelets are just a bit more on the boho eclectic side. But around the holidays, we all want a little more bling. So this is what we're doing tomorrow morning. I hope you guys join me for that. And that is, of course, going to be on the Eclectica Facebook page at 9 a.m. CST. And then let me tell you about some of the other events. So for next week, what do we have next week? It's the little spider, right? Or is it the earrings? Oh, yes. So remember, next week is Thanksgiving. My gosh, that happened very quickly. It kind of snuck up on us. So next week is Thanksgiving. So we only have the one video.
Lorraine says beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Jeannie Ann says pretty.
Thank you so much, Jeannie Ann and Lorraine. So this is what we're doing next week, Friday. We are going to have this little exploration of holiday earrings, and I have 3 different styles of earrings to explore. We have the elegant, we have the fun, and of course they're all really fun. And then we have, I don't know, what do we even call it? Well, maybe something in between. So we have like the little stars and and the Christmas trees. So let me just grab one of each because I know I'm gonna run out of room. So this is the preview.
Kathy says stunning, and I think that's in regards to the bracelets.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. So this is, you will find that as I get closer to the holidays, my projects get just a little shorter, like shorter and shorter, because as you get closer to the holidays, you have less and less time, and everybody gets a little bit stressed, and you still need to make those gifts, or maybe gifts for yourself, but we don't have as much time. So it is very, very satisfying to make these fun little projects.
Joan says the ornaments are also pretty, thank you, and sends a heart.
Oh, thank you so much, Joan. I really appreciate it. So anyway, this is our preview for next week.
Jane says those earrings are beautiful.
Thank you, Jane. Which one did you like? Did you have a favorite? So there are several different styles we're going to explore, but what they all have in common is they're all just fast and easy. And yes, I already did show you my little spider, and this is for the week after Thanksgiving, and we already have the events set up. So all of the events are set up. So you just have to go to the event section and RSVP, if you want to RSVP, that is. But it's nice to do that because then Facebook will let you know that the event is about to start.
Jane says the colored ones are so pretty.
Oh, thank you so much. They're kind of unusual. They're very, very fun.
Christine lost it. Sorry. Christine says, I like the Christmas tree.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine.
Kay says, my favorite thing to do is have an earring and bracelet making party.
Oh, fun, fun.
And Kay also adds, the spider is precious.
Oh, thank you so much. So, it's not next week.
December 2nd.
Yes, December 2nd. I'm going to do a little demo of these little spiders. I did that last year, and this year we're going to have a whole new collection of spiders. And again, they're not creepy. They're super fun like this, and there's a cool holiday story that goes with the demo. And that is our plan, you guys.
You answered Glenda's question about the spider. It's on December 2nd.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. And again, we're at our new location, and I know that many of you have been asking for longer store hours. And on Wednesdays, we are open late until 8 o'clock. So if you can't make it during the day, come on down on a Wednesday night and hang out with us. We're open 3 hours longer.
Betty says, I even like the Christmas spider.
Oh, thank you, Betty. I know. Just because you said I even like the Christmas spider, I know you probably don't like actual spiders. Not very many people do. But yes, this is a very friendly spider. It's kind of a magical spider. There's a magical story that goes with the spider.
Jeannie Ann says, where can I watch replays of your lives?
Oh, Jeannie Ann, I'm so glad you asked. Thank you so much for asking. So yes, we do archive all of these videos, and we have like a schmillion videos that are archived. And so you watch them on this Facebook page. You just go to the videos section and you can rewatch whatever you want. And also, there's a whole other page, it's the Eclectica page, and you can watch those videos as well. And I'm talking about years worth of videos. So please do. I do want to tell you that the projects you see me demo, if you're actually interested in purchasing kits, the sooner you look in the Etsy shop, the more likely they are to be in the Etsy shop. So in other words, years later, they're not necessarily going to be in the Etsy shop, but the videos are there. And the videos are certainly applicable to many different things. For example, I know that these snowflakes, which I demoed last week, are still available through the Etsy shop.
Kay says, I wish you would do a Christmas pickle.
You know what, Kay? I know there's a tradition of a Christmas pickle, but I don't know how to interpret it in beads like this. I think it's maybe a good idea, maybe for somebody who stitches, or perhaps for somebody who felts, or somebody who blows glass. But this type of an interpretation, I cannot think of how to do it, but it's a cool idea. So if you come up with a good way to do it, please do share it with us. You know, I feel like maybe if you had a whole bunch of green marguerites, green Swarovski marguerites, which these days are
Those are hard to come by.
Yes, very hard to come by. But maybe that's one way to do it. Who knows? Well, if you come up with a good way, please do share. All right, ladies. So what do you think? I think we're done. So I will see you tomorrow morning again. Please join me for the bracelets. And in the meantime, thank you so much for all of your wonderful comments. And I will see you in the morning. You have a wonderful and creative evening.